Once upon a time, in a vast ocean, two clownfishes lived, Marlin and Carol. They were a happily married couple who had just moved to a new home and laid 400 eggs. As they admired their eggs, Marlin suggested naming half of them Master Marlin, but Carol insisted on naming one Nemo. Their joy was interrupted by a menacing shark that threatened their family. Marlin urged Carol to seek safety indoors, but she bravely rushed to protect their eggs. In the ensuing chaos, the shark attacked Marlin, leaving him unconscious. When he regained consciousness, Marlin discovered his wife and that most of the eggs were missing. Amidst his sorrow, he found one lone egg named Nemo. Years passed, and Nemo grew up, eager to begin his first day of school despite a small wing from his hatching accident. Marlin, overly protective of Nemo, accompanied him to school, where he met other parrotfishes. Expecting Marlin to be funny like a typical clownfish, they were surprised by his serious demeanor. However, when the teacher, a rayfish, arrived, Marlin expressed concern about Nemo's disability. The teacher assured Marlin that special accommodations would be made, and Nemo joined his classmates for lessons. After their departure, Marlin learned that the teacher had led all the small fish to a dark cliff. This news ignited fury within Marlin, propelling him swiftly toward where the teacher had taken the small fish. Meanwhile, the teacher halted at a spot and began instructing the fish, while some of Nemo's friends swam in a different direction. Quietly trailing them, Nemo discovered the other fishes engaging in a challenge to touch a distant chain. Mocked by the small fishes for his disabled fin, Nemo faced a sudden reprimand from Marlin upon his arrival at the scene. Despite Marlin's attempts to take him away, Nemo's anger led to a confrontation with his father. Determined to prove himself, Nemo swam towards the boat to touch the chain. Despite Marlin's urgent pleas, Nemo touched the ship just as a diver emerged behind him, whisking him away. Marlin's frantic attempts to save Nemo were thwarted by the sudden start of the boat, leaving him struggling to catch up. In his distress, Marlin encountered a new fish named Dory. Seeking help, Marlin asked Dory about the ship, only for her to abruptly scold him for following her due to her short-term memory problem. Despite her memory issue, Marlin explained his predicament, and Dory agreed to assist him. Their conversation was interrupted by the appearance of a massive shark named Bruce, who expressed a desire to befriend them. It was clear that the shark, Bruce, intended to consume the small fish. Bruce led them to a dimly lit area where he resided with two other large fishes. Upon their arrival, Marlin and Dory discovered that these fishes had pledged not to consume small fish and resolved to befriend them instead. Marlin remained apprehensive about the giant fish, while Dory displayed a friendly attitude towards them. They soon stumbled upon the diver's glasses. While Dory attempted to decipher the writing on the glasses, she inadvertently injured herself, causing blood to flow. Sensing the blood, the shark became agitated. Marlin and Dory endeavored to flee from the large fishes. Meanwhile, Nemo awakened in a dentist's office surrounded by other fishes in a tank. These fishes, collected from various locations, shared their experiences with Nemo. The dentist informed Nemo about his cousin, who was fond of fish and intended to receive one as a gift upon her visit. However, the fish warned Nemo about the girl's mistreatment. Soon, Nemo became trapped in the filter pipe. As the others rushed to his aid, their leader, Gil, instructed Nemo to free himself. After a series of struggles, Nemo successfully extricated himself from the filter. Gil then revealed his escape plan. By placing a stone in the filter, they could soil the tank. When the dentist cleaned the tank and transferred the fish into plastic bags, they could collectively leap out of the window and into the ocean. Meanwhile, Marlin and Dory regain consciousness, but Dory forgets their situation again, which leads them back towards the dark cliff. Despite the ominous darkness, a flashing light caught their attention, prompting them to swim towards it. They soon discovered that the light emanated from a dangerous fish, which attacked them, but they narrowly evaded its grasp. Utilizing the light, Dory read the address on the glasses and committed it to memory. However, navigating to Sydney, where the dentist held Nemo captive, was challenging. Seeking guidance, they approached a large group of fish. Initially mistaking Marlin's urgency for harassment, the group eventually provided directions to Sydney, emphasizing the need to cross a particular mountain from its midpoint, a crucial detail Dory forgot to relay to Marlin. As they approached the hill, Marlin decided to traverse it from above. Mid-crossing, they encountered a sudden swarm of jellyfish. Marlin narrowly escaped their stinging tentacles but realized Dory remained trapped within the swarm. Despite his injuries, Marlin returned to rescue Dory, resulting in both of them getting stung by the jellyfish. Meanwhile, Nemo ingeniously wedged a pebble inside the filter line into the fan, successfully halting the filter's operation. However, as Nemo attempted to return, the pebble dislodged, causing the filter to restart. Helplessly caught in the middle, Nemo was pushed towards the filter. Acting swiftly, the other fishes joined forces to rescue Nemo using a plant decoration. Witnessing Nemo's ordeal, Gil resolved never to subject him to the filter pipe again. Marlin awakened to find himself atop a turtle, revered as a hero by its entire group for escaping the jellyfish. These turtles informed Marlin and Dory that they were near where the diver had taken Nemo. News of Marlin's quest to find his son spread rapidly among the sea creatures, including crabs, fishes, and seagulls. The seagulls in turn relayed the information to Nigel, who rushed to the dentist's office. Nigel, a friend of the fish, praised Marlin's courage and determination, sparking excitement in Nemo. Eager to aid his father, Nemo swiftly employed stones to obstruct the filter pipes, causing the tank to become polluted. Nemo's plan had been successful as the filter had started to get dirty, and the tank was now full of waste. The fishes were now getting ready to execute their next step. At the same time, Dory and Marlin had finally gotten out of the stream inside the water, but had no idea where they were. Dory suggested they ask for help from someone, but Marlin was reluctant to ask for help from other fish due to the fear of getting eaten by other big fish. Dory suggested that she knew the language of whales and kept talking in whale language when suddenly a giant blue whale appeared and swallowed them in its mouth. Marlin felt very helpless, but Dory assured him that she had taken to the whale and the whale had agreed to help them. The water inside the whale's mouth started draining and Marlin got even more scared. Suddenly, the whale's tongue straightened and Dory and Marlin started going inside the whale. Marlin hesitated to go inside the whale's mouth but had no choice. Marlin fell inside the whale, and they soon traveled inside it. After a while, the whale squirted the fish out into the ocean. While in the air, they looked around and discovered that the whale had helped them reach Sydney. From there on, Marlin and Dory traveled to the dentist's place. On the other hand, Nemo and the other fish wake up the following day and find the tank completely clean. They then discovered that the dentist had installed a self-cleaning system in the aquarium. Now, they had lost hope of going back into the ocean. On the other hand, when Dory and Marlin surfaced on the surface, they were suddenly swallowed by a large bird. As soon as the bird swallowed them, Dory and Marlin started to move inside its mouth, causing it to choke. Observing all this, Nigel went down to help the choking bird, and when the other birds spit out Marlin and Dory, Nigel quickly recognized them. But it was too late. Several birds had surrounded the scene and were ready to eat Marlin and Dory. Nigel slowly moved near them, opened its mouth, and told Dory and Marlin to jump in its mouth. Marlin refused to do so and didn't believe Nigel when Nigel told them he knew Nemo. But when Nigel told them about Nemo's defective small wing, Marlin and Dory quickly jumped in its mouth. Nigel quickly flew from there as other birds were chasing him. He swiftly flew in different directions and finally lost all the birds behind them. Nemo, on the other hand, was scooped out by the dentist in another bag. He acted as if he was dead to deceive the doctor into thinking he had died so the doctor could flush Nemo down the drain into the ocean water. The dentist, upon seeing Nemo dead, decided to flush Nemo down the drain. On the other hand, Nigel brought Marlin and Dory to the dentist's office, where they saw Nemo dead. Nigel then created chaos in the dentist's office, where Sarla started shouting and crying. She started shaking Nemo inside the bag, and seeing this, Gil jumped out of the tank to help Nemo. The bag Nemo was in then fell into the drain, and Nemo was successful in getting into the ocean. Nigel then helped Gil get back into the tank. After this event, Nigel flew back to the ocean, putting Dory and Marlin in the water. Marlin was convinced that Nemo was dead and that he was unfortunate. He then left Dory alone and went back to the ocean. Dory then told Marlin that she had had a fantastic time with Marlin and asked him not to leave her alone, but Marlin believed that all of his family, including Nemo, was now dead, and he had no reason to be there anymore and left from there. Nemo, who had escaped into the ocean, shouted out his father's name in the hope of finding him. But instead, Dory saw him. Dory, at this point, had again forgotten about everything. She talked to Nemo about finding something as well. She told him that she also felt she was seeing someone but didn't remember who. Nemo said to him that he was also searching for his father. They were traveling together when Dory suddenly read the word Sydney and remembered everything. She then realized that they had been searching for Nemo all this time. The realization hit her, and she quickly hugged Nemo with excitement. She then tried to find Marlin but lost track of him. They finally found a crab who knew the whereabouts of Marlin, but he refused to tell them, so Dory quickly elevated the crab to the surface in front of many birds. As the birds were about to attack the crab, Dory pulled it down and the crab told them about Marlin. As Marlin swam amidst many fish, he suddenly heard Nemo calling out his name. Turning around, he saw Nemo, and with overwhelming joy, Marlin embraced his son. Finally reunited, their happiness was short-lived as they found themselves trapped in a net being hoisted to the surface by fishermen. Trapped in the net, Dory struggled. Displaying remarkable courage, Nemo ventured into the net, assuring his father that he would save them. Initially hesitant to let Nemo go, Marlin ultimately entrusted him with the task. Guiding the fish to swim downwards, Nemo led them in exerting collective pressure on the net, eventually breaking free. However, Nemo sustained injuries in the process. With Dory and Marlin's assistance, Nemo was tended to and Marlin acknowledged his son's bravery, recognizing him as the bravest fish. With their family reunited, joy permeated their bond. Marlin, once a sorrowful parent, now found solace in telling jokes to other fish, while the more giant sharks, committed to befriending small fish, joined their company. Marlin and Nemo embraced happiness, and Dory found contentment in her new home. In the end, the dentist discovered the aquarium empty, all the fish having successfully escaped into the ocean, culminating in an ultimately happy ending.